Hello and welcome to Her Radiant Life. Today we're going to talk about comparison between us and other people and how that steals our joy. But we're not just going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how to get out of that comparison, which I think all of us do at some point in our lives. We compare ourselves to our friends, to our family members, to people on Instagram. Don't do that. You don't know the hidden struggles of people that are posting on Instagram, that are posting their curated posts. And there's up and down struggles. That is life. So life is not perfect for anyone, even if it looks like it on Instagram. Sometimes we think that everybody else is happy except for us. I'm not saying that nobody is happy. I'm not saying that there are not people full of joy. Of course there are. And there are things in all of our lives that bring us joy, that are going smoothly. But it's a little bit naive to think that other people are all happy with every area of their life. Let me give you an example. I know people who are married and unhappy. I want to get married. Right now I'm single, and some of them say to me, "Oh, I wish I had your single life. I wish I could sleep in. I wish I could go on vacation that I want to go on. I wish I could do this, but I can't because I'm married," and they're in unhappy marriages. Now, of course, I want a happy marriage, but I also have to look at the fact that I have a level of freedom that comes with being single and without children that other people who are not single and do have children just don't have. If I want to go to the gym after work on my way home, I can. There's nobody waiting for me. There's nobody expecting me to do anything for them, really. Now, do I always want to be single? No, absolutely not. But in this time of my life, I want to absorb all of the good things from being single that I can while I am single. There are good things in your life right now, where you are. And this isn't saying that you have to stay where you are, but I'm just saying that right now you can still be grateful in the life that you're living, even when you want more. And you should always want more. There's always more in life in different areas, but that doesn't mean not being grateful and content with where you are. Now, I have an entire video on the Chinese bamboo tree and how incredible the growth of the Chinese bamboo tree is. But I'm just going to touch on it a little bit. Basically, it doesn't grow for 5 years. You don't see any growth. And then all of a sudden, in 5 or 6 years, it shoots up like 80 feet. So let's talk about that as one example of a type of seed or a type of person. And then let's talk about another person or seed as a rose bush. Now, rose bushes don't take nearly as long to grow. They bloom usually within a year of being planted, and then they bloom every year. These are two completely different seeds. They are different timelines. They need different environments. They need different watering patterns. They need different sunlight. But what if the Chinese bamboo tree was comparing itself constantly to a rose bush? For the first 5 years, the Chinese bamboo tree would say, "How come I'm not growing? How come I'm not blooming? How come it's taking me so much longer? How come it's taking me 5-10 times longer to do anything, to show any growth compared to the rose bush?" But then, once the Chinese bamboo tree, which has, by the way, over those 5 years been creating an intricate root system underground, so you couldn't see the growth, but it was growing. At that point, after the 5 years, this Chinese bamboo tree shoots up to 80 feet. Now, the rose bush could be like, "Oh, well, how come I'm not that tall? How come I bloomed so early and now I'm kind of just where I am. I bloom the same way every year. I didn't shoot up 80 feet in 5 or 6 weeks." They're two different seeds. They're two different patterns. They're two different purposes. So let's go into purpose. What if the bamboo said, "The rose is so beautiful. It smells so sweet. Everybody loves the rose bush, the roses. They give it to each other for gifts. People stop and smell it and love on it. Nobody does that to me. Okay? Well, what if the rose bush was like, all I have is beauty and all I have is creating something nice for people, whereas the bamboo tree has so much usefulness. They use it for textiles. They use it for clothing. They use it for furniture. They use it for medicine. They use it for paper. It's so useful. And they can lament what the other plant's purpose is all of their lives from start to finish and never just thrive and be thankful and grateful for the path that they're on, for the seed that they are, and just bloom where they're planted and bloom in the environment that they're supposed to. Now, if you are always comparing yourself to someone else and trying to go along someone else's path, you're going to be in the wrong environment. You're always going to feel behind. You're going to feel like something's missing. You're unfulfilled. Because that path is not yours. That environment was not meant for you. And even that timeline isn't your timeline. And you're always going to feel behind. And you're not actually going to grow into who you're meant to be because your watering pattern, your sunshine, your temperature, all the environmental things that you need to grow, you're not putting yourself in the right place. Because you want to be more like a bamboo tree, or the bamboo tree, you want to be more like the rose bush, or whatever plants you want to use. Once you accept the seed that you are, the plan for your life, the path that you're on, the environment that you need to be in, you're going to thrive. You're going to grow beautifully, and your purpose is going to shine through. When you compare yourself to other people and the timeline they're on and the trajectory and what they're doing in their life to fulfill their purpose, you are always going to feel behind and unsatisfied and unfulfilled and like you're struggling, because you will be struggling. You cannot thrive in an environment and all those other factors that are not meant for you. I know that there are people in your life that love you. Ask a very good friend or your mom or a loved one who you know has your best interest at heart. Ask them to tell you the top 3 to 5 things that they see in you as a strength. It's not wrong to do this. This will help you to see yourself the way other people do, people that love you and see your strengths. The other day, I sent a friend, one of my closest, dearest friends, a picture of my planner for the next few months. And I said to him, I can do this, right? Like, I'm so busy. I'm overwhelmed. But I have a plan in place and I'm trying to do all these things with health and with finances and with all these things. And so I was like, I can do this, right? He replied, if anyone can do it, you can. You are the most driven person I know. And I said to him, what? Really? Like, I kind of have this idea that I'm sort of lazy sometimes. Because yes, I do like rest. I do like my sleep. But that doesn't mean I'm lazy. Why I'm equating those two things together, I'm not entirely sure. I think it's from earlier judgments from people in my young life. He replied with, you're not lazy. You're always trying different things, moving and shaken. That's the definition of driven. We're very good friends. He wants the best for me. He sees the good in me more than I do sometimes. And it kind of just woke me up to how other people maybe see me, how he sees me. And it was very uplifting. So I do actually really implore you to do this with one person or 3 people. And actually, if you do it with a few different people, you'll probably get the same answers a few times. And you'll know that that is a major strength of yours. The people who love you see your greatness, see the good things in you. And what I like to do is when they text that stuff to me, I take a screenshot of it and I put it in a folder in my phone called Sweet Texts. I have lots of stuff in there. I have stuff from my nephews and nieces, little things they've sent me over the years. I have stuff from siblings, from friends, even from guys that I dated in the past who saw beautiful things in me. Just because we didn't work out as a couple doesn't mean they didn't see the good in me, and doesn't mean that I can't still look at those and think, people see that in me. So I really highly suggest doing this, because anytime you're feeling like you're a little behind or not at the place you want to be in life yet, or you're comparing yourself to other people and you can't see your strengths clearly, go in and read those sweet texts. They will uplift you. I promise you that. I promise you that. Another thing that I find really helps with being grateful for where you are and therefore not having to compare to everybody around you. Because when you're grateful where you are, you don't have that need to always compare. I think it's when we're unfulfilled in a certain area or in general that we tend to compare our lives to other people that seem fulfilled. This idea was from another friend of mine, and it's called the Moments of Gratefulness jar. Now, I do two things with this jar. I write down anytime something amazing happens. Like, I got a really good deal at my boxing gym that I got to go back to, one that I used to go to and I love. I put that in here because I was meant to be. My work schedule aligned with me going to that gym, even though it's not in my city. I put that in here. I just started this, by the way. That's why there's only a few in here. And throughout the year, you keep putting in things that you're grateful for. Now, not only does that help you to focus on the things you're grateful for, and then therefore you tend to start to see more things you're grateful for and feel more grateful. That's why people have gratefulness journals. But at the end of the year, you can also open this and read through all the things that happened in your life that are beautiful and wonderful, and you can start your next year on this high note of gratefulness. The other thing I do with this is I write down things that I'm proud of that I did. You can write something down like, I responded in love in a very hostile situation. It could be, I went to the gym 3 times this week. It could be, I showed up for a friend that really needed help this week. I helped someone move. I helped someone go through their finances because I'm really good at it, or whatever it is. Put those in here too, because at the end of the year, you're going to see how much you've grown and all the good things about yourself. But also, as you focus on these things, those are the things that you will see more often. I walk into my apartment right now, and yes, it's not the biggest place in the world, but I am so grateful for this space because I've made it beautiful. I've created magic where I am at this point in my life. I'm cozy. And when I see everybody shoveling snow in their driveways, I am so thankful that I don't have to do that in this apartment. I see little bits of gratefulness all over the place because I've started to focus on them in my life. And not only do you start to see more things that you're grateful for, beautiful things are going to be attracted to you. People, places, opportunities, abundance in every way are going to be attracted to you because you are putting out gratefulness rather than comparison and lack. So bottom line, stop comparing yourself to people on Instagram, family and friends, people on TV, whoever you're comparing yourself to. Stop. Because it's going to steal your joy away. It's going to take away the gratefulness that you want to focus on in your life, and you will always feel behind and unfulfilled. Instead, focus on the things that you're good at. Focus on your strengths. Start one of those sweet texts, folders, and read through it whenever you need to. You can read through it every single night if you need to, or at the beginning of your day. Ask someone who loves you what those strengths of yours are. Write down those things that you're grateful for and put them in the jar, and grow into that seed that you are meant to be, in the environment that you're meant to be in the timeline that is yours and not anybody else's. And you will feel more fulfilled, satisfied, excited about the future and your purpose, and you'll be on the right timeline. You'll be on the right track for you. Although I do believe that we need to work towards things and we need to fine-tune our lives to create the right environment for our purpose to come out and for ourselves to grow properly. Don't hate your trajectory or your purpose or the seed that you are that's going to be useful or beautiful or bring people joy or help heal other people's pain, or many other options than just that too. And as always, go out, be a blessing, and rise into your radiance, the radiance that is meant for you. Much love. Bye-bye.